Alex Counts here again. In prior videos, I've covered a topic such as fundraising across 4 or 5 videos where I've tried to deal with the totality of that topic and broken it down across multiple segments. Management and leadership of a nonprofit is so broad, I think it's almost impossible to do that. It becomes unwieldy. So I'm going to take little subcomponents of leadership and management and have a 2-part series. One is why it's important and why a lot of leaders stumble into normal pitfalls like I have in many cases. In the second video, I'll talk about some practices that I've used that have been effective. Now, in this case, I'm going to talk about 3 attributes I think are really important for nonprofit leaders. Being affirming of your colleagues, being accessible to them, and being approachable to them. And so, again, I think this is important in any organization, but especially in a not-for-profit organization where people come in with passion. They're probably earning less than they would in the private sector, and yet want to continue to stay motivated. And your being affirming, approachable, and accessible will help maintain their motivation and keep them with you. And I have to admit, I was not always a leader who had these attributes. In fact, much the opposite. And as a result, I had employees who were demotivated, who left before I would have liked. And I slowly learned. Mentors, coaches, and my own experience taught me. So why do these 3 things matter? And why do some leaders like me early in my career not practice them? Well, being affirming. It matters because people care deeply about the work that they're doing for a nonprofit. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken that course. And it's not always visible to them whether their efforts are leading to results. That's kind of the nature of nonprofit work in a lot of ways. And by affirming their effort, affirming their results, helping them see how valuable they are and how valuable you feel they are, you're going to keep them through the lean periods and keep working to show the long-term results by hearing this from others. Now, why do leaders not do it? I think in my case, I felt that if I was putting out too many compliments to people, they'd get complacent. They'd say, gosh, I'm already doing great. I don't have to put in the extra effort. I came to think that was a flaw, and I'm going to talk in the next video about how I did that. Being accessible. In a nonprofit, you're trying to make things happen, a lot of ambiguity, a lot of unexpected things happen with funders, with clients, with allies, with opponents. And a lot of times employees will need the leader's decision or advice quickly. And if they don't get it, they get very demotivated. They get very kind of feeling that they're just not being supported. And maybe they'll go rogue and just make decisions you should make, or maybe they'll just kind of sit and wait and complain about you. Why do leaders not make themselves accessible? I think a big reason is they're too busy. Maybe they're trying to delegate to other people, which is a good thing, but not so much so that where a leader should weigh in or give feedback or advice or a decision, they're just missing an action or delegating to someone who's not really able to do that well. Doesn't have the credibility with internal or external stakeholders. Or again, I think sometimes it's not a decision, it's just advice. Someone else decides, but you as the leader can help guide them to the best possible recommendation to the ultimate decision maker, which may be someone that works for you. Being approachable. Again, some leaders that are accessible, that will get back to someone quickly, that doesn't mean they're approachable. They may bring their kind of own irritations and frustrations to meetings with people for feedback or a decision or brainstorming. Might even demean someone, an employee. Why are you bringing this to me? Can't you figure this out on yourself? These are things that if employees hear them, you might think it will be a little bit off-putting to them. My guess is it's going to be much more than that. It's going to make them never want to come back to consult with you unless they absolutely have to. Snapping at people, leaders, and I didn't understand this until I was one myself, you tend to get into a certain degree of self-pity at times. Sometimes you have to make the decisions that are going to make lots of people unhappy no matter what you decide, and you start to feel that sense of almost grievance. And if you take that out on your employees who are looking to you for feedback or brainstorming or advice, it's going to have a major impact on whether and when and how they come to you in the future. So again, even if you're accessible, if you're not approachable, they're going to avoid you. And even just little things in terms of body language, or if you're not paying attention to them when they're talking to you, you're multitasking, you're just showing through your body language, you're just kind of upset with them for bringing this to you, not solving it on their own. People will respond to that and respond not in a positive way. So what I'm saying here, and I'll go into the next video, is even as you try to produce your own results as a leader, provide strong leadership to the organization, external stakeholders, the people who work for you, and to another extent your volunteers and your board. You want every opportunity to affirm them, tell them that you value them, that you see that they're producing results and expending effort on behalf of the mission. You want to be accessible to them, get back to them when they look for you, and sometimes just look for them to spend some time talking to them, that that's what you want to do, and they'll appreciate that. And then to be approachable when you're with them. Make it welcoming, make it a pleasant experience for them. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about some of the techniques I've discovered that allow for all three of those things to happen.